Alex lived a quiet life in the bustling city of New York. His days were simple. He worked as a mechanic, fixing cars and machines for a living. He didn't expect anything exciting to happen in his life. But that all changed one evening. It was a normal Friday night. The sun had set, and the city lights sparkled, reflecting off the glass buildings. Alex sat in his small apartment, eating dinner when his phone buzzed. It was a message. At first, he thought it was just another spam email or an ad. But when he saw the name, his curiosity piqued. The message was from someone named Lyra. He didn't recognize the name, but it was the subject line that caught his attention. "Come with me, human." His heart skipped a beat. It wasn't just a strange message. It was a strange message that seemed directed only at him. His fingers hovered over the screen as he read the words again. "Come with me, human. Don't ask why. Just trust me." Alex frowned. The words were odd. Who was this person? And what did they mean by, "come with me"? It seemed like the kind of message you get in a sci-fi movie, not from someone in real life, but still, there was something about it. A strange pull, a feeling that he should do something. He tapped on the message to respond, but then stopped. What if this was some kind of scam? He had no idea who Lyra was, and it was dangerous to meet strangers you found online. But there was also a part of him, something deep inside, that couldn't ignore the message. His curiosity was stronger than his fear. After a long moment, Alex typed a quick reply. "Who are you?" "Why me?" He stared at the screen for a few seconds, then put the phone down on the table. The words seemed strange, even to him. He knew he wouldn't get a reply right away, but the wait was unbearable. He found himself thinking about the message again and again, replaying the words in his mind. When his phone buzzed again, he practically jumped. He grabbed it quickly and saw a new message from Lyra. "You'll understand soon. There's no time to explain, but I'm waiting for you. Be at the old factory at midnight. Don't be late. Trust me." His heart raced. The old factory? That was just outside the city, near the docks. It was a place that had been abandoned for years, a large, crumbling building that people said was haunted. Nobody went there anymore. Alex sat back in his chair, unsure of what to do. Was this some kind of joke? Or was there really something important happening? He couldn't explain it, but there was a part of him that wanted to go. After all, what did he have to lose? His life had been nothing but routine. He worked, ate, slept, and repeated the cycle. There had to be more to life than this. Maybe this message, this mysterious invitation, was his chance to finally break free from the dullness, but then doubts crept in. What if it was dangerous? What if someone was waiting there to hurt him? The factory was in a rough part of town. He had heard stories about shady deals happening around there. Alex stood up and walked over to the window. Looking out at the city, the lights flickered below, and the noise of the busy streets seemed so far away. He stared at his reflection in the glass, wondering if he would ever take a chance like this again. "I'll never know if I don't try," he thought. It wasn't like he had a lot of friends or family who would miss him. He had always been a loner, and the thought of meeting someone who seemed to know something about him, even if it was strange, was exciting. After a few minutes, Alex grabbed his jacket and walked out of his apartment. The city air was chilly, and the streets were quieter than usual as he made his way toward the old factory. He wasn't sure what he expected, but it felt like the right thing to do. The message had promised that he would understand soon when he reached the factory. The plargy that sent a chill down Alex's spine. Alex took a step back, unsure of what to say. He had expected a meeting, but this was nothing like he had imagined. "Come with me, human," she said again, her words calm but insistent. "The world you know is only the beginning. There's so much more waiting for you." Alex stared at her, not sure if he was dreaming or if this was some kind of strange reality. But something about her felt real, more real than anything he had ever known. "What's going on?" Alex asked, his voice shaky. Lyra smiled, a warm, knowing smile. "You'll understand soon. Just follow me." And without another word, she turned and began walking toward the dark, mysterious depths of the factory. Alex hesitated for a moment, but then curiosity got the best of him. Alex followed Lyra into the darkened factory, his heart racing with both excitement and confusion. The building was older than he had imagined, its walls covered in peeling paint and broken windows. The air smelled of dust and old metal, and the sounds of distant footsteps echoed off the walls. He couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. But there was something about Lyra that kept him going. Her presence was calming yet mysterious. As they walked through the empty halls, Lyra glanced back at him with a smile. "You're wondering why you're here, aren't you?" she asked softly, her voice barely above a whisper. Alex nodded, feeling his curiosity grow. "Yeah, I mean, this whole thing is strange. Why me? What is this about?" Lyra stopped walking and turned to face him. The glow in her eyes seemed brighter now, and Alex could see the intensity in her expression. "You're here because you have something special inside you, Alex. Something no one else on Earth has." Alex raised an eyebrow. "What do you mean?" "I'm just a regular guy. I fix cars." "Nothing special about that." Lyra shook her head gently, her long hair flowing like liquid silver. "That's what you think, but you're wrong. Humans have a power within them, one that hasn't been fully realized. It's why I chose you." Alex felt a strange, tingling sensation run down his spine. "Chosen me? But I don't understand. Why me? Why not someone else?" She looked at him with a knowing expression. "Because you're different, Alex. You're not afraid to ask questions, to seek out the unknown. Most humans are stuck in their routines, but you're willing to take the risk." Alex felt a surge of doubt. He had never considered himself different, just a regular guy. But something in Lyra's words made him feel like there was more to him than he realized. They continued walking deeper into the factory, and Alex noticed something strange. The walls, which had once seemed old and worn, now appeared to be covered in glowing symbols. They looked almost like ancient writing, but they shimmered with a light that was too bright for this dark place. Alex reached out to touch one of the symbols, but Lyra quickly stopped him. "Don't touch it." "Not yet," she said firmly. "These symbols are ancient, and they hold knowledge that you're not ready for, not yet." Alex withdrew his hand, feeling a mix of confusion and curiosity. "What kind of knowledge? What is this place, really?" Lyra turned to him, her expression serious now. "This is a place of great importance. It's where I've been hiding, learning, preparing, and now I'm ready to share everything with you. But first, you need to understand who I am." Alex stopped walking, his eyes widening. "Who are you, really?" "You're not just some girl, are you?" Lyra smiled softly. "No, I'm not just some girl. I'm Lyra, a member of an ancient race. My people have been watching Earth for a long time, waiting for the right moment. And that moment is now." Alex's heart skipped a beat. "You single quotes Dilian?" Lyra nodded, her eyes glowing brighter. "Yes, and so much more. I'm here to help you understand your true potential, Alex, to guide you. You have a role to play in what's coming." Alex felt his head spinning. "What's coming? What do you mean?" Lyra's gaze grew distant, and for a moment Alex thought she was looking into the past. "The galaxy is on the brink of a great war. My people and others like us have been fighting for control of the universe for centuries, but it's not about power or greed. It's about survival. And Earth. Earth is the key? Key to what?" Alex asked, still trying to process everything. "What are you talking about?" Lyra's expression turned serious. "You're about to learn that Earth holds more than just humans. There are things beneath the surface, hidden powers, ancient technology that can change the fate of the galaxy. Your people. They don't even know it yet. But I've been sent to help unlock it." Alex's mind raced. "How? How are we supposed to unlock it?" "I don't even know where to start." Lyra smiled again, her eyes softening. "That's why you're here, Alex. I'm here to teach you, to guide you. You'll learn to tap into the power inside you, and together we'll change everything." As they walked deeper into the factory, Alex felt a strange sense of anticipation growing inside him. He had always wanted something more in his life, but this was beyond anything he could have imagined. He had thought he was just a mechanic, a simple guy doing his job. But now, Lyra was telling him that he was part of something much bigger, Something that could reshape the galaxy. Alex had no idea what was waiting for him, but one thing was certain. His life would never be the same again. Lyra led him into a large room, its walls lined with strange machinery. At the center of the room was a pedestal, and on it a small glowing orb. Lyra stopped in front of it and turned to Alex. "This is where your journey begins," she said softly. "The orb contains the key to unlocking your true potential. But first, you must be ready. Are you willing to take the first step, Alex?" Alex looked at the glowing orb, his heart pounding in his chest. He wasn't sure if he was ready, but something deep inside him told him that this was the moment. He stepped forward, his hand trembling slightly as he reached out toward the orb. "I'm ready," Alex said, his voice steady. Even if his nerves weren't. As his fingers touched the orb, a sudden surge of energy shot through him. And for the first time in his life, Alex felt truly alive, the moment Alex touched the glowing orb. Something inside him clicked. It was as if the world around him had shifted, and a flood of images and sounds rushed through his mind. His head spun with sensations, but he didn't pull his hand away. The power was too strong, too intriguing. He felt it course through him, filling every part of his body with energy. He gasped for air as the light from the orb grew brighter. In an instant, the factory room seemed to disappear, replaced by a vast, empty space filled with stars. Alex felt weightless, floating in the center of the universe. He couldn't understand what was happening, but he could feel the pull of the stars, as if they were calling to him. "Oh, think it is." There are many different species and factions out there, all fighting for control and power. Earth has been hidden away, left to grow on its own, but now it's time for Earth to step into the spotlight, Alex blinked. Step into the spotlight? What do you mean? Earth has something no one else has, a hidden power that could change the entire galaxy. For centuries, humans have been left alone, isolated from the larger universe. But that's about to change. Lyra paused, letting the weight of her words sink in. Alex looked at her, confused. "But we're just humans. What kind of power do we have?" "You're more than just humans. You have the potential to be more than you ever imagined. It's a power that's linked to your emotions, your creativity, your ability to dream. The galaxy's greatest civilizations have been built on technology, but humans have something much more powerful: heart, will, and imagination." Alex couldn't believe what he was hearing. He had always thought of Earth as just another planet, another dot in the vast universe. But Lyra was talking about Earth like it was the key to something much greater. "But why didn't anyone tell us?" Alex asked, feeling frustrated. "Why are we just finding out now?" Lyra's eyes softened. "Your leaders don't know. Or, if they do, they've been hiding the truth from you. The galaxy is a dangerous place, and some factions want to keep Earth's power locked away. They fear what you could become if you realize what you're capable of." Alex felt a chill run down his spine. "So, what happens now? What do we do with this power?" Lyra stepped closer to him, her eyes intense. "Now you learn, you train, and you help Earth unlock its potential. There are enemies out there who will do everything in their power to stop you, to stop all of humanity from rising up. But I'm here to guide you. Together we can change the future of Earth and the galaxy." Alex didn't know what to say. The idea of having this kind of power was overwhelming. He had always been a simple mechanic working on cars, fixing things. Now he was being told that he was part of something much bigger, something that could change the course of history. "I don't know if I'm ready for this," Alex admitted. "I'm just a regular guy. I don't know how to fight. I don't know how to save the galaxy." Lyra smiled again, this time with warmth. "You don't have to do it alone, Alex. You'll have me and others to help you. And remember, the power isn't just in your hands, it's in your heart, in your mind. It's in every human who believes in something greater than themselves." Alex nodded slowly, trying to take it all in. His world had changed in an instant, and he wasn't sure if he was ready for what was to come. But one thing was clear: he couldn't go back to his old life. The adventure had already begun. Lyra turned and gestured for him to follow. "Come with me, Alex. We have much to learn, and time is running out." They walked through the factory, and Alex couldn't help but feel a sense of awe. The walls seemed to hum with energy now, and he could feel the power in the air, just like Lyra had said. This wasn't just a factory, it was a training ground, a place to prepare for what was coming. "What do we do first?" Alex asked, his voice filled with determination. Lyra turned to him, her expression softening. "First, you must learn how to control your new abilities. We'll start small, but soon you'll be able to do things you never thought possible. And when the time comes, you'll be ready to face the challenges ahead." Alex took a deep breath. The road ahead was uncertain, but for the first time in his life, he felt a sense of purpose. He wasn't just a mechanic anymore. He was part of something much bigger. And no matter how scary or overwhelming it seemed, he was ready to face whatever came next. The next few days passed in a blur. Alex could hardly believe how much had changed in such a short time. One moment, he was just an ordinary mechanic, and the next, he was learning about the power that humanity held, and that he, of all people, was part of it. But the reality of it all was more overwhelming than he had imagined. Lyra had led him to a hidden underground facility, much deeper than the old factory. It was a vast complex, full of technology that Alex couldn't even begin to understand. The walls were lined with strange symbols, glowing softly in the dim light, and the air was thick with the hum of machinery. It felt like he had stepped into another world, a world that had been hidden from Earth for centuries. "This is where you will learn," Lyra told him one evening, leading him through a narrow hallway. "The trials you will face here are not easy, but they are necessary. You must push yourself beyond what you thought was possible. Only then will you understand your true potential." Alex nodded, feeling a mix of fear and excitement. He had no idea what these trials would be like, but if they were anything like the strange experience he had with the orb, he knew they would test him in ways he couldn't imagine. Lyra led him into a large, circular room, its walls covered in screens that flickered with strange symbols. In the center of the room stood a tall pedestal, and on top of it was a small device that looked like a cross between a tablet and a helmet. "This will help you unlock your abilities," Lyra explained. "Put it on, and we will begin your first trial." Alex hesitated for a moment, then took the device and placed it on his head. As soon as he did, the world around him seemed to shift. The room dissolved, and he was suddenly standing in a dense forest, the smell of pine filling the air. The sky above him was dark, and he could hear strange noises in the distance, creatures he couldn't see. You can harness it to protect yourself, but you must learn how to control it." Alex's mind raced. "How do I control it?" "Focus," Lyra instructed. "Feel the energy around you. Let it flow through you, but don't let it overwhelm you." Alex closed his eyes, taking a deep breath. He concentrated, trying to feel the energy within him. At first, it was difficult. He could feel the power, but it was like trying to grasp smoke with his hands. But then, slowly, he started to understand. The energy wasn't something to control with force. It was something to work with, to guide, to flow through him. It was as if the energy was a part of the world itself, and he had to learn to align with it. He opened his eyes and focused on the creature again. This time, he raised his hand with purpose, and a beam of energy shot from his palm, hitting the creature square in the chest. The creature stumbled back, growling in frustration, but it didn't attack again. Instead, it vanished into the shadows, leaving Alex alone in the forest. "You did well, Alex, but this is just the beginning," Lyra's voice said. "There will be more challenges ahead, and you will need to be prepared." The forest around him began to fade, and Alex found himself back in the training room, panting and sweating. His heart was still racing, and his hands were trembling from the shock of what had just happened. Lyra was standing in front of him, a proud smile on her face. "That was the first trial. You survived, but there are many more challenges ahead." Alex wiped his forehead, trying to catch his breath. "That was insane. I didn't even know I could do that." "You'll get better," Lyra assured him. "The more you practice, the stronger you'll become. You have the potential to be one of the greatest warriors the galaxy has ever seen." Alex's mind was still reeling from the experience. He had just tapped into some kind of energy that allowed him to fight back against a creature he couldn't even understand. And he knew that this was only the beginning. There was so much more to learn, so much more to do. The weight of it all was heavy, but for the first time, Alex felt like he was part of something bigger than himself. He nodded slowly, his eyes determined. "I'm ready for whatever comes next," Lyra smiled. "Good, because this is only the start, Alex. The galaxy is waiting. And it's time for you to step up." The days in the underground training facility passed quickly. Alex had learned more than he could have imagined in such a short time. With each new lesson, he grew stronger, more in tune with the strange energy inside him. He had faced countless trials, some physical, some mental, but each one brought him closer to understanding his true potential. Lyra was always by his side, guiding him, encouraging him, and teaching him to harness his power. But as time went on, something began to feel different. The bond between Alex and Lyra was growing stronger, but there were moments when Alex felt as though there were secrets she wasn't telling him. There were times when he would catch her staring off into the distance, her expression clouded with something he couldn't quite place. He had learned to trust her, but there were still questions swirling in his mind. One evening, after another intense training session, Lyra led him to a quiet room in the facility. The walls here were lined with strange devices and glowing symbols, but the room had a calmness to it, almost as if it was meant for reflection. "Alex, there's something I need to tell you," Lyra said, her voice unusually soft. Alex raised an eyebrow. "What is it? You've been acting a little distant lately? Is everything okay?" Lyra took a deep breath, and for a moment Alex saw a flicker of hesitation in her eyes. It made his heart skip a beat. "I've been keeping something from you," she said quietly. "Something important." Alex felt a knot form in his stomach. "What is it?" "You know you can trust me, Lyra. Whatever it is, we can face it together." Lyra hesitated for a long moment before finally speaking. "I'm not just here to help you unlock your powers, Alex. I'm here to prepare you for what's coming. But I'm also here to protect you from a greater threat." "A threat? What kind of threat?" Alex asked, his voice tinged with concern. He had faced dangerous creatures and strange trials, but this felt different. This felt personal. Lyra looked away, her expression pained. "The factions in the galaxy? They're afraid of what humanity is capable of. And some of them will stop at nothing to prevent Earth from becoming a power in the galaxy. They want to control humanity, to use your potential for their own gain. And I've been sent to stop them." Alex stepped back, trying to process what she was saying. "But you said you were helping me. You said we were going to unlock humanity's potential." Lyra nodded, but her gaze was heavy. "I am helping you, Alex, but there's more to it than just training you. Some of the factions have known about Earth's power for a long time, and they've been waiting for the right moment to strike. They want to use your abilities to create weapons, to control the galaxy. They'll stop at nothing to ensure that humanity never becomes a real threat." "So, you've been training me to fight back?" Alex asked, his voice barely above a whisper. He felt a strange mix of fear and confusion. He had always been a simple guy, someone who fixed cars and kept to himself. Now he was being told that he was part of a much larger battle. A battle for the future of the galaxy. Lyra nodded, her eyes filled with regret. "Yes, Alex, but the truth is, I've been working for them too." Alex felt as if the ground beneath him had shifted. "What?" he whispered, his voice thick with disbelief. "You've been working for them? For the people who want to use me?" Lyra looked at him, her eyes filled with sorrow. "I never wanted to betray you. But when I was first sent here, I was ordered to keep you in the dark. To train you, yes, but also to make sure you didn't learn the full truth. The truth that your powers could change everything, and some factions see that as a threat." Alex stood frozen, struggling to understand what was happening. "But you said you cared about me? You said we were fighting together?" "I do care about you, Alex, more than you know. And that's why I have to tell you this now. I've had enough of hiding the truth. The people I've been working for, they don't want what's best for Earth. They don't want humanity to be free." She stepped closer, her voice filled with urgency. They want to control you, control all of humanity, and use you as a weapon? I've been working to protect you from them, but I'm afraid they're getting too close. Alex shook his head in disbelief. You've been lying to me this whole time? After everything we've been through, you're telling me that you've been working for them? Lyra's eyes filled with tears. I never wanted to lie to you, Alex, but I had no choice. I was sent here with orders. I didn't know how to protect you without deceiving you. I was trying to buy time to prepare you for what's coming. But now they know about you. They're coming for you. And they'll stop at nothing to control you. Alex stepped back, trying to process everything. He felt betrayed, confused, and hurt. He had trusted Lyra, believed in her. And now he was learning that she had been keeping secrets, working for those who wanted to use him. What happens now? Alex asked, his voice low. Lyra wiped away a tear. Now, we have to stop them, Alex, together, but you have to trust. Me, I've made mistakes, but I'm doing everything I can to help you. We can still fight back, but we need to act fast. Alex stood still for a moment, his mind racing. He didn't know if he could trust Lyra anymore. But deep down he knew that she was the only one who truly understood the situation. She had shown him a side of the galaxy he never knew existed, and now he had to decide whether to fight alongside her or walk away from it all. He took a deep breath, feeling the weight of the decision on his shoulders. All right, I'll trust you, but no more secrets, Lyra, no more lies. Lyra nodded, relief flooding her face. Thank you, Alex, I promise. Together we can stop them. The next few days felt like a blur to Alex. He had always thought of his life as simple, just a mechanic, living in a quiet city. But now, he was tangled in something far greater. The galaxy was on the edge of war, and humanity, for better or worse, was caught in the middle. Lyra had warned him, but the weight of it all still felt too heavy to fully understand. Despite everything, Alex knew one thing for certain. He couldn't back down now. He had trained for weeks, learning to tap into powers he never imagined he had. He had seen the dangers, the factions that wanted to control him, and the enemies that were slowly closing in on Earth. And now, it was time to act. The time for hiding was over. The fight for Earth's future had begun. Lyra had explained everything. To him, the power of humanity, the factions in the galaxy, and the race to control Earth's hidden potential. There was no turning back. The enemies Lyra had warned him about were coming, and they would stop at nothing to keep humanity from rising. Alex sat in the control room, his mind racing. The room was dimly lit, the walls lined with complex screens and alien technology. Lyra stood beside him, monitoring the incoming data. She was calm, focused, but Alex could see the tension in her eyes, the calm before the storm was over. The battle was beginning. They're getting closer, Lyra said quietly, her voice steady but filled with urgency. The factions are already mobilizing. They know we're ready, and they're not going to waste any time. Alex clenched his fists, his heart pounding. How much time do we have? Not much, Lyra replied, her fingers flying over the controls. We need to strike before they reach Earth. Once they're here, it'll be too late. Alex nodded, his mind filled with determination. He had come this far, and he wasn't about to let everything he had learned go to waste. Earth's future was on the line. Humanity's future was on the line. What's the plan? He asked, his voice firm. Lyra turned to him, her expression serious. We strike first. We have to make them understand that humanity won't be controlled. We'll send a message they won't ignore. Alex didn't hesitate. He had trained for this moment, and he was ready. The power inside him, the power that had once felt so strange and overwhelming, now felt like a part of him. It was no longer something to fear, it was something to use, to protect what mattered most. I'm ready, Lyra. Let's do this. She gave him a nod of approval. Good, let's show them what humanity is capable of. The plan was simple, but the risks were high. Alex would lead a small team to infiltrate the enemy's command ship and enormous vessel that was heading toward Earth. Once they were aboard, they would plant a device that would disable the ship's weapon systems, sending a clear message that humanity wouldn't bow down to anyone. The mission was dangerous. The enemy's ship was heavily guarded, and Alex knew that even with his new abilities it wouldn't be easy. But he had no choice. There was no going back. As Alex prepared for the mission, his mind drifted to Earth, the people he was fighting for. His family, his friends, all of humanity. They didn't even know what was happening, what was at stake. He had always lived a quiet life, never imagining that he would be part of something this big. But now he was fighting for a future that wasn't just his own. It was for everyone. Lyra stepped up beside him, breaking his thoughts. Remember, Alex, you're not alone in this. You have the power to protect what matters. Trust yourself. Trust the training. He nodded, taking a deep breath. The air was thick with tension, but there was something else, too, a sense of purpose. The time for doubt was over. The battle was coming, and he was ready to face it. The ship that would take them to the enemy vessel was small, sleek, and fast. It wasn't much, but it was all they had. As Alex and Lyra entered the cockpit, the rest of the team prepared for the mission ahead. There was a nervous energy in the air, but Alex could feel the same resolve in each of them. They were all in this together. This is it, Lyra said as she strapped herself into the pilot's seat. We'll get in, disable the ship, and make our escape before they even know what hit them. Alex took his seat beside her, his mind focused. He could feel the energy inside him, just beneath the surface, waiting to be unleashed. The galaxy was about to learn what humanity was capable of. The ship lifted off, and the dark expanse of space stretched out before them. The stars twinkled like tiny diamonds, distant and cold. As they approached the enemy's command ship, Alex felt the tension in the air. This was the moment when everything would change. The enemy vessel loomed ahead, massive and intimidating. It was surrounded by dozens of smaller ships, each one armed and ready for battle. But Alex wasn't afraid. He had the power now, and he wasn't going to let anyone take it from him. We're almost there, Lyra said, her voice steady as ever. Stay focused. Once we're inside, there's no turning back. Alex nodded. He knew what was at stake. The fight for Earth's future was about to begin, and there was no turning back now. The ship descended toward the enemy vessel, slipping past its defenses and into the heart of the battle. Alex could feel the power building inside him, his senses heightened as he prepared for what was to come. He had trained for this, and now it was time to prove that humanity had a place in the galaxy, a place where no one could take it away. Let's go, Alex said, his voice filled with determination. And with that, the war for humanity's future began. The mission was moving faster than Alex had imagined. The enemy's command ship was just ahead, its dark form looming like a shadow in the vastness of space. His heart raced, but the nerves from earlier had slowly faded. Now, there was only focus. He had trained for this, and he wasn't about to back down now. The small ship carrying Alex and his team moved silently, slipping through the gaps in the enemy's defenses. Lyra, sitting at the controls, was calm, her sharp eyes scanning every signal and reading every movement. She was focused, guiding them through the chaos. The rest of the team, all equipped with their own gear, were ready to infiltrate the enemy ship and plant the device that would disable their weapon systems. We're almost in position, Lyra said, her voice steady but urgent. She flicked a few switches, the ship's engines humming quietly as they prepared to enter the heart of the enemy's vessel. Alex looked out the window, his heart beating faster as the enemy ship grew larger in his view. It was massive, filled with weaponry, defenses, and a whole fleet of soldiers, but Alex wasn't afraid. He had the power inside him now. The power to protect, to fight, and to make sure humanity's future remained their own. How much longer? Alex asked, glancing back at Lyra. Just a few more minutes. We'll be inside before they even know we're here. Trust me, Alex, we have this. Her smile was brief, but it was enough to steady his nerves. The small ship shot toward the docking. They and Alex felt a rush of energy. This was real. The moment had come. They were about to strike a blow for Earth. He could feel the energy inside him, the same energy he had used in his training. It was ready to help him complete the mission. There was no going back now. As they entered the docking bay of the enemy ship, everything went quiet. They were inside. The rest of the team geared up, adjusting their weapons and preparing for what lay ahead. Lyra's voice broke the silence. Once we're inside, stick to the plan. We need to plant the device at the heart of their weapons system. We can't afford to be seen. The team nodded, and Alex followed Lyra's lead as they stepped out of the ship and into the cold, metallic corridors of the enemy vessel. The walls were lined with high-tech consoles, and the dim lighting cast long shadows. It was eerily quiet, but Alex could hear the distant hum of machinery and the occasional footsteps of guards patrolling the halls. Lyra motioned for them to follow her as she moved with purpose, leading them through the labyrinth of corridors. Alex's senses were heightened. He could feel the energy pulsing around him, every footstep, every movement, every breath. He could sense the others in the ship, the presence of enemy soldiers, some far, some close. They reached a locked door at the end of a hallway, and Lyra quickly worked her way through the control panel. It beeped, and the door slid open. Beyond it was a room filled with the heart of the enemy's weapons system, a massive, complex network of technology designed to crush anything in its path. This was where they needed to place the device. This is it, Lyra whispered. Get in, plant the device, and get out. Fast. Alex stepped forward, his body tense with anticipation. He knew what they were here to do, but the enormity of it hit him once again. This wasn't just about taking down a ship, it was about sending a message to the galaxy. Humanity wasn't weak. Humanity wasn't something to be ignored. He moved to the center of the room, where a large console flickered with glowing symbols. With a quick motion, he reached for the device in his bag. His hands were steady, his mind clear. He could feel the power inside him, ready to be used. This wasn't the time to doubt. This was the moment to act. As he attached the device to the console, an alarm suddenly blared through the room. Red lights flashed, and a voice echoed over the intercom. Intruders detected. All units on high alert. Move! Lyra shouted. We need to get out of here now. Alex's heart raced as the sound of footsteps grew louder, closer. He grabbed the device, ensuring it was securely attached. His team quickly formed a circle around him, each of them moving swiftly and efficiently as they made their way back to the exit. They had barely made it out of the room when the sound of enemy soldiers filled the hallways. Alex could hear them shouting orders, running toward them. The mission had just gotten more dangerous. But there was no turning back now. We need to split up, Lyra ordered. Alex, take the left corridor. The rest of you, follow me. Stay low. Stay quiet. Alex didn't hesitate. He darted down the left corridor, his feet moving quickly as he followed the path Lyra had shown him. He could hear the sounds of soldiers pursuing, but his mind was focused. He could feel the energy within him, pushing him forward, helping him stay ahead. Every step, every move was a calculated decision. He was no longer just a mechanic, he was someone who could protect, fight, and win. As he reached the docking bay, he could see the small ship waiting for him. Lyra and the others were already there, their faces grim but determined. Come on, Alex, we've got to move. Lyra called out. He didn't hesitate. With one last burst of energy, Alex sprinted toward the ship, and the team followed close behind. The enemy was still in pursuit, but they were too slow. Alex could feel the power inside him, and with one final push, he reached the ship's door. It slid open, and they all piled inside. Get us out of here, Lyra, Alex yelled. The ship's engines roared to life, and with a sudden jolt, they shot out of the enemy vessel. Behind them, the massive ship began to shake, its weapons systems disabled. The message had been sent. The galaxy would know that humanity was not to be underestimated. As the ship moved away, Lyra turned to Alex, a proud smile on her face. We did it, Alex. The war has just begun, and Earth is ready. Alex looked out the window at the stars, feeling a sense of pride and relief wash over him. The future was uncertain, but for the first time, he felt like humanity had a chance. And he was ready to fight for it, no matter what came next.